Have you ever felt stuck trying to improve your business English? The secret isn't doing more, it's doing less, but better. And in this video, I'll share a very simple system inspired by the book, The One Thing, that helped me set and achieve my goals. And I've also used it many times for my clients to help them achieve their goals. And it can work for you, for your English as well. The book, The One Thing, has a main concept, focusing on the most important task that makes everything else easier. And this approach works really well for improving English, especially trying to improve your English skills. As a busy business professional, you might feel overwhelmed by everything that you have going on in your world. So much work, maybe family, maybe travel, so much pressure, and then to learn English and use English along the way. Oh, it's just overwhelming. Well, by using this method, you can really be able to achieve the goals that are important to you. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can set a longer term goal and break that down into smaller goals so that you can follow a path that will really help you achieve your goals. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Grant, and I'm an executive business English coach. I've been helping and coaching CEOs all over the world for many years be able to improve their English confidence so that they can grow their companies all over the world to achieve their goals, their dreams. This, this in this video that I'm sharing with you, it's not just a video. It really works. I've used it many times. I've read this book with some of my clients. One of my clients originally recommended this book to me. And it's really important. And I've used it as well. And I'm using it right now, building my goals for a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 2-year plan, a 1-year plan, so that I can achieve what I want to achieve in 5 years. So the key question in the book, The One Thing, is that it asks, and you need to answer this, it asks, what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? And that's it. That's the focus. Like, what can you do that makes everything else easier or makes everything else unnecessary? So it's not about working the hardest. It's kind of working the smartest. And if I relate this to your English journey, I'd ask, what's the one thing that you can do in the next year to be able to speak confidently in business meetings? So let's just take an example and look out 5 years, and maybe you choose something. Here's my 5-year goal. I want to be able to negotiate deals in English confidently. Well, that's not going to happen tomorrow. That's your 5-year goal. So in this case, you want to break that down into shorter goals that you can accomplish and do. So maybe if that's your 5-year goal, to be able to negotiate deals in English confidently, maybe your 1-year goal is to hold a 10-minute conversation with a client without needing notes. And then from there, we'll break it into smaller goals in less time. So I want you to work with me and go through and do this. You want to start with, what are you trying to learn English for? What's your purpose? What's your real big goal? Think about it as your 5-year goal. What would you really, really like to do? Be very specific and create a great goal. 5 years from now, I want to be able to do this. Many times people tell me, look, in 5 years, I want to be able to stand up in front of a big audience and give a confident presentation to international teams of people, including native speakers. That's a pretty common and big goal for the CEOs I work with. Stand there in front of people in big room and be able to confidently give a presentation. Well, that's not going to happen tomorrow. So if that's your 5-year goal, what's your 3-year goal? Well, to get there, maybe your 3-year goal will be, I want to be able to conduct team meetings in English in 3 years. Great. That'd be a really nice goal. So now you've got your 5-year goal, you've got your 3-year goal. Now let's go to your 1-year goal. What do you want to get done in the next year? 1 year from now, I want to be able to join and participate in a weekly speaking club. Great. So in 1 year, you're in a speaking club. In 3 years, you're doing team meetings in English. And in 5 years, you're giving very confident presentations. Let's go back to our question again. It's in the book, The One Thing. So the question is, what's the one thing I can do such that by doing that one thing, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Because you can't just join the speaking club tomorrow. That's a year from now. That's the goal. So let's look at 1 month. For you to join a speaking club, and let's call it a business speaking club, you're probably going to need to learn a lot of vocabulary and be able to use that vocabulary for common business situations and scenarios. That might be a really good 3-month goal. Learn and use business vocabulary. That would be a great goal. Okay, well, that's what you need to get done in the next 3 months. What do you need to do this week to start doing that? Well, this week, maybe you want to practice explaining your job in English so that you are starting to use some of these business vocabulary words that you're using and be able to say them out loud. So let's think about, as we set our goals, one of the most important things is to make sure that you're really, really consistent. You want to be able to do this every day so that you can achieve these short-term goals that lead up to your long-term goals. And being consistent is just the most important part of this whole thing. So as an example, you can take your calendar. Everybody's got a very busy calendar. Well, block a piece of time in your calendar. If you can do it every day, great. If you can do it 5 days a week, great. Block off 10 minutes. Block off 15 minutes. Nobody else can schedule that time. That's your time. Block that off and be able to use that time so that you can be able to learn business vocabulary and practice speaking. That's what you want to be able to do. As an example, I've made a lot of videos about using my deep learning method. And the purpose of the deep learning method is not that you learn vocabulary. The purpose is that you can use really great business vocabulary. I have a whole series of videos about learn English through story. And these are really long videos, but the purpose is that I walk you through a story that uses increasingly difficult types of business vocabulary words. And then I go into great detail about these words and I show you how you can use them. Well, I want you to practice doing that with me. If you were to take 10 or 15 minutes and go through those videos over the next 6 months, wow, you would become very, very good at this. So again, as we're setting our goals here, what's the one thing that you can do today that by doing it makes everything else easier or unnecessary? That's what you want to be able to do. As I said, block off time in your schedule, make sure there's no distractions, and then you want to be able to do this. And every day, you want to track what you did. Write it down. Put it in a spreadsheet. Put it in your Notion. Whatever it is you want to do, but keep track of everything you did Celebrate these small wins along the way. If you can celebrate these small wins, you'll get there. So again, to summarize, to be able to set really great goals, and I do this, create a 5-year goal, a really great 5-year goal. What do you want to do with your English? Then set that 3-year goal, that if you can achieve that 3-year goal, it'll make that 5-year goal happen, okay? And then set a 1-year goal. If you achieve the 1-year goal, it'll make the 3-year goal happen. It'll make the 5-year goal happen. Bring it back one step further, set a 3-month goal. If you do this in 3 months, it'll help you do this in 1 year. It'll help you do this in 3 years. It'll help you do this big one in 5 years. And then set a goal for today. What do you want to do this week? Set that goal. And if you can achieve this goal today and through this week, it'll help you achieve all the rest of the goals that you have laid out. And you just want to focus on this one thing. If you do this one thing today, what will it help you do going forward? And it'll keep you focused. It really will. And it'll get rid of all the noise of everything else. So write down these goals. I put them in a spreadsheet, and I put them down in a lot of detail. You start long and you work your way back. I would love it if you would share your goals in the comments. I think everybody would love to hear this. If you'd be able to put your goals, your 5-year goal, your 3-year, your 1 year, your 6-month goal, your 1 month, your next week's goal, whatever it is, however you want to do it. There's no magic to it. Just start long and bring yourself back to today and focus. What's the one thing? Such by doing it will make everything else easier or unnecessary. Try it, share it. I would love to help you achieve your goals. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share your comments, and I also invite you to learn your Business English Confidence Score. You'll find the link in the description below this video.